times. And each hit does 1,963%.
They're not nerf.
You realize how big of a boot?
They're gonna nerf her afterwards.
It's like, why give her such a huge buff if you're just gonna have to nerf it right after that? I mean, I was watching a video on with a sniper doing Red Dragon, and they like one-shot it with the wind arrow, and I was like, are you kidding me? What is this? I think it was Red Dragon Easy, but it was still Red Dragon nonetheless.
Yeah.
But when you're doing almost 2,000% your damage, and you're hitting 29 times, and you're critical hitting at an 89% rate, because that's the cap for whatever reason. Why it can't be 90% is beyond me. But you have an 89% crit rate, you're pretty much critting every single time. So I don't understand what they were thinking with that particular. But that's not the only skill that's getting buffed. Every single sniper skill there is, every single skill is getting buffed.
I don't know. They're probably trying to rework her whole playstyle. That's what they're trying to do.
I guess. I mean, she's broken already.
They're probably trying to rework her, change her playstyle, but make her a little stronger. And then after what they do this, they're probably gonna do another update where they nerf her.
Right. The DA is getting a buff in the patch after the 90 patch.
Really?
So yeah, he won't be as strong as he was before the nerf, but he won't be as weak as he was after the nerf.
Okay.
So they picked a middle ground.
All right.
All the Kali classes are getting a buff in damage.
Yes.
Across
Finally.
the board.
Finally.
All the warrior classes aside from the DA are getting a buff in damage. It's not a huge buff. They're getting a small buff. And
the gladiator.
The gladiator is getting one. Yeah, but all of them, not just the gladiator. The barbarian, all of them.
The gladiator's getting a pretty decent buff. That's why I made one. I want to see how good he does in PvP after, not PvP, I mean PvE afterwards.
The Inquisitor and the Saint. The Inquisitor and the Saint are both getting small buffs in their healing, but they're getting debuffs in damage. So that's all. So that's a trade-off. They're also getting debuffs in their other, like their buff skills or whatever. They're getting debuffs in those, just like the Guardian and the Crusader did.
You gotta also think about it. There's gonna be those level 90 skills that they're adding to the game too. You don't know what they're gonna do. Like if you can summon.
I've read up on those. Their instants, the instant skills, most of them suck.
Really?
Yeah, most of them suck.
I was about to say, because when you summon like that hero, how long does it stay out for when you summon it?
Like one attack.
Really?
It attacks like one time and then it goes away.
Okay, that's stupid. I would think they'll have it come out like probably 5 times, or I mean, stay out for like at least 10 seconds, and the cooldown will be like 20 or something like that.
No, it does like one little set move thing and then it goes away, which is lame.
It better be. What's the percentage of damage on it?
I'm not sure what the percentage of damage on them are.
Because the damage is.
But the cooldown is like 2.
I was about to say, if the damage on it's high as hell, it's better be. That will make up for most of the stuff.
I was thinking the assassin classes are just across the board are getting debuffed, including the Lightbringer. Their buffs are getting decreased, but they're not getting any stat boost. Like how all the other classes, they're getting like really big stat boosts, increased by like 50% or whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty much across the board, like they're going from like 25 to 75% on their stat gains.
How bad?
The assassin is staying exactly like it is in stat gains. They're not changing the assassin at all, but they're decreasing all of their skills. So they're going to become one of the weakest classes in the game.
Oh.
All of them across the board. The only thing that the Lightbringer will be good for, they'll lose almost all their damage, and they're just going to be good for support, and that's it. They won't be a good damage class at all.
That's what I wanted the Lightbringer for, was mainly support, honestly. And I also make Maxina when she comes out for mainly support, the Defensio one. Cause
let's see.
Every time you recover, you throw heal circles out, like evasion recover. Every time you do that,
Right.
you throw like 6 heal circles out where people can just stand on it and heal, including yourself. You can also stand on it and heal. And then there's an EX part of that skill where it doubles the healing or something like that. From what I think I've seen.
Let me find this page that I was on before that had all of the skill changes, and I'll give you some more information here.
All right.
Tell me a class you want to know a little bit about their changes.
Oh, Maxina, you won't be in there, but
I don't. Yeah, it won't be in. She won't be. She's not in here.
I want to know the Blade Dancer specifically because I want to make one of her.
Blade Dancer.
And then I want to know the Ice Witch because I'm pretty interested in her.
Shooting Star, Gear Master, Adept.
They're not even
Blade
touching
Dancer.
they're not touching the Shooting Star, and they should.
The Shooting Star? Actually they are.
Are they nerfing her?
They're getting a huge nerf.
I've seen that coming. They're already strong.
They're getting a buff on reload because that didn't do damage anyway. It's going from 300 to 800%, which that's fine. I mean, it's just reload. It's not like it's doing a ton of damage.
Yeah.
Before, and they're just giving a little bit of damage. The ball you throw that just bounces around.
Yeah.
It's going from the 1006%. You know what it's going down to?
Probably 300.
300%.
Oh man. Oh god.
All of the Alfredo skills are staying exactly the same, except for nope, they're all staying the same. The demolition skill is getting a buff from 4,500% to 4,900%. That's whatever. Splash is getting a nerf from 616% to 808 to 282%. Their instant skill is reload instant, which loads 1 bullet after you use a chemical grenade. That's it.
So they're not making you.
That's all their instant is.
Pretty much.
But here's the thing.
What?
Your instant skills share cooldowns with your regular skill. So now once you use the instant reload, you can't reload until the reload cools down again. So you can't like instant reload into a reload.
Wow.
Yeah. Their chemical grenade is getting the missile, not the grenade. The missile is getting a boost by it's getting a boost of 100 extra 100%. So it's not really getting any extra damage. It's getting 100%. So that's not a huge boost. That's it. I mean, they're getting a really big nerf on the little ball skill, and they're getting a slight buff on chemical missile or whatever.
I just thought of the assassin. Are they nerfing that spin move he got?
Let's see.
The one where he jumps in the air, Lightbringer, he jumps in the air, spins down.
Probably, but I'll tell you in a second.
Strike Ring is called.
Strike Ring is getting a buff of 1%. It's going from 214% to 215%.
Well, that does a lot of damage to bosses, so he's still gonna be strong when that's up. That's the main move I use for my damage.
Outbreak is staying the same.
That's another move I use a lot. So
the shadows are getting debuffed, or getting a nerf. I mean.
Nice, and I'm using those.
They're getting a nerf.
Oh, a nerf? I thought you meant buff.
Not a buff. They're going from 200% damage to 100% damage. So they're cutting the shadow damage in half.
Well, if you think about it, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, but they're still cutting because before they did 200, they're gonna do half the amount of damage. Tabby is getting a 150% buff from 443 to 572.
Yes. Yes. I think it'll be better just going from not even having your 2 shadows and putting the extra 2 points in that. Cause since he's gonna be mainly support now and do no damage.
Yeah, he basically is going to be doing no damage at all. Dark Line is going from 1,200% to 905%. Dark Conviction is going from 1,500% to 300%. Yeah, they're just getting a nerf all the way down the board. Except, you know the focus skill. That's normally it's a Abyss Walker. It's not the Abyss Walker side, but you can still learn it as a
Yeah.
But it's the one where you look at them, the focus skill or whatever. It's getting a buff up to 2,239%.
Nice.
It's going from like 800% to that. That's a boost of almost 2,000%. That's insane. The chakra heal is getting a debuff from 19.8% to 15%, but they're reducing the like how you have to like level it up a whole bunch. They're reducing it from its max skill level to skill level 1, so you only have to put 1 point into it and you get the full amount, but they're reducing what the full amount is, which that makes sense. So you only put 1 point in it now instead of like 19.
Oh no.
I'm looking for the float. What's the float called?
The healing chakra.
Now, healing chakra is the one where you just instantly heal everybody.
No, healing chakra is when you float. Yeah, healing chakra, you're floating.
Okay, healing chakra. They are removing the HP heal. It will only heal MP now.
What?
Yep.
That's what's so awesome about it. It does it both.
You'll have to use energy chakra, which heals HP, in order to do that. Upside to the change is that chakra healing will be reduced from a huge level to you only have to put 1 point into it, and it won't be maxed.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But it only it recovers 1% MP per second, which is dumb. But yeah, they're getting a huge debuff, or all the way down the board. What's the giant ball called that you throw?
I just use it. Sunshine Spark.
It's getting a debuff from 2,032% to 1,000%. But it will now reduce the damage enemies do for 10 seconds by 20%.
Oh.
So it's getting that, but that's lame. So yeah, they're getting a huge debuff on everything. It's lame. But they're not getting a buff in stats at all. Okay, so Blade Dancer. Skill wise, they're getting a buff in every single skill except for 2.
What's the 2?
Breeze Dance and Breeze Call are getting reduced from 261 and 302 respectively to 154 and 241.
Well,
so that's not a huge debuff. Everything else is getting a buff.
I'm
so like
making her for
Squall
PvP.
Flake is going from 334% to 1,358%. Inner Fire is going from 4,000 to 5,600. Elegant Storm's going from 3,000 to 3,600. Yeah, everything's getting a buff. Sweet Circle's going from 664 to 1,680.
Yeah, I'm making her for PvP. She's gonna be broken.
Yeah, they're definitely buffing her.
I was waiting for that too, cause she's fun, but I don't want to make her. Cause all I've been hearing people say she's good for PvP mainly.
Say Runia and Defensia. They are Machina's on here.
She is?
Yeah. She's getting a debuff.
What one, Runia or both of them?
Both of them.
I knew they knew they were because she just came out, but I know the buff. If
If
I remember correctly, the buff.
It's not huge.
Yeah, I was
It's
about
not
to say,
huge.
if I remember, the buff ain't that big.
They're being reduced by like 200 to 400% from 1,000% to 600%. So, and some of them are like Kidney Blow is getting increased from 1,800 to 2,000. So some of the skills are getting buffed, some of them are getting debuffed.